Picture this. You finally did it. You managed to scrape together your first $1,000 in savings. $1,000 sitting in your account that is not already spoken for by rent, groceries, or that credit card bill you have been avoiding. You look at the balance, and honestly, it feels kind of disappointing. $1,000. That is like 2 weeks of rent in a lot of cities, a used Honda Civic tire replacement, and maybe an oil change. The number just sits there and almost makes fun of you because it seems too small to matter. Your brain starts calculating how little it really is. Your coworker just bought a new car. Your friend is planning a trip to Europe, and you are over here celebrating 4 digits like you hit the jackpot. So what do most people do? They spend it. They tell themselves $1,000 is not enough to change anything, so they might as well use it on something that feels good right now. A weekend getaway, a new phone. That couch they have been eyeing. They promise themselves they will start saving seriously when they get a better job, when expenses go down, or when life becomes less chaotic. And then that $1,000 vanishes like it was never there. Meanwhile, someone else took that same $1,000 and did something different. And 20 years later, that single decision made them a millionaire, while the first person is still wondering where the next $1,000 will come from. My name is Claire, and I spend way too much time thinking about the invisible math that separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke their whole lives even while earning decent money. If you are someone who feels like you are always starting over financially, or if you have been told to save money, but cannot understand why it matters when the amount feels so small, make sure to hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you. Here is the thing nobody really tells you about money, and it is probably the most important lesson you will ever learn about building wealth. The first $1,000 you save is mathematically more valuable than the next $10,000 you save after it. That sounds completely backwards, right? $10,000 is literally 10 times bigger than $1,000. How could the smaller amount be more powerful? Most people think building wealth is like climbing stairs. Every dollar is another step, and the more steps you climb, the higher you get. Just simple addition. But that is completely wrong. Money does not work like that. Compound interest does not work like that. And your psychology definitely does not work like that. The first $1,000 does something no other amount can do. It changes you from someone who has nothing into someone who has something. It breaks the zero barrier. And breaking zero is the hardest financial step you will ever take. Let me show you why. Meet Alicia. Same name as me because this is her story. And honestly, it is probably your story too. Alicia is 28 years old. She makes $55,000 a year at her marketing job. After taxes, she brings home about $42,000. That is $3,500 a month. Her rent is $1,400. Her car payment is $350. Insurance, utilities, groceries, gas, subscriptions, and all the random costs life throws at her take the rest. By the end of the month, if she is lucky, she has maybe $200 left, sometimes even less. Most of the time, that $200 gets spent on something small. Dinner with friends, new running shoes, a haircut. She is just living. She is doing what everyone else does. And at the end of every month, her savings account has the same number it had the month before, 0. Now what Alicia does not understand, and what most people never figure out, is that 0 in a savings account is not just a number. It is a force field. It is a psychological prison. When you have $0 saved, you are living in pure survival mode. Your brain cannot think about next year. It can barely think about next month. Every surprise expense becomes an emergency. The check engine light comes on and your stomach drops. Your dog needs to go to the vet and you are checking whether you can stretch your credit card a little farther. You get stuck in this loop of constantly reacting to the next problem. But something powerful happens the second you move from 0 to 1,000. Suddenly you have options, maybe limited options. Maybe you are still far from comfortable, but the panic starts to fade. The check engine light comes on, and instead of spiraling, you already have a plan. You can fix it. You can pay cash. The psychological difference is massive. Your whole relationship with money changes when you stop living in crisis mode and start living in planning mode. There is actual research behind this. A Princeton study found that financial stress reduces cognitive function by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. 13 points. That is the gap between average and gifted, or average and borderline impaired. When you are stressed about money and do not know how you will cover an emergency, your brain gets so consumed by immediate survival that it physically cannot think long-term. You cannot make good decisions. The stress literally makes you less sharp. Think about what that costs you. When your brain is running 13 IQ points below normal, you make terrible financial choices. You take the payday loan with 400% interest because you cannot think clearly enough to find another option. You stay in the underpaying job because you are too stressed to update your resume and start job hunting. You buy the expensive car because the monthly payment sounds manageable, and you cannot really calculate the true 5-year cost. Over a lifetime, that stress-driven mental fog can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in bad decisions. The person with $1,000 in the bank is not just sleeping better at night. They are making smarter choices during the day. And those smarter choices compound just like interest does. Your first $1,000 is buying back your ability to think clearly. That first $1,000 removes the mental drag. It gives your brain permission to think beyond next week. And that changes everything. Let me show you the math that makes this real. Let us say Alicia decides to save that first $1,000. It takes her 5 months of discipline, 5 months of saying no, 5 months of putting $200 a month into savings and not touching it. It is hard. It is boring. And when she finally reaches $1,000, it does not feel like a major victory because $1,000 still does not feel like real money. But here is what actually happened during those 5 months. Alicia proved to herself that she can delay gratification. She built a habit that did not exist before. She created a system that works even when she does not feel motivated. And most importantly, she broke zero. Now when she gets paid, she does not just see money that will disappear by the end of the month. She sees money that can grow into something bigger. Her entire relationship with dollars has changed. Now let us say Alicia keeps going. She has her $1,000 emergency fund set aside. She does not stop there. She keeps adding $200 a month to savings. After another year, she has $3,800 total saved. That still does not sound like a fortune, but now she can do something different. She can invest. This is where the math gets really interesting, and it is the part most people never truly understand until it is too late. That original $1,000, if invested in a basic index fund earning 8% annually, which is actually below the historical average, will double in 9 years without Alicia adding another cent. $1,000 becomes $2,000. Then $2,000 becomes $4,000. Then $4,000 becomes $8,000. After 30 years, that original $1,000 becomes $10,627. $1,000 turns into more than $10,000 just by being left alone. Let me prove it with a comparison that makes the point impossible to ignore. Person A saves $1,000 at age 25 and never adds another dollar. Person B waits until age 35, then saves $10,000 all at once. Both invest in the same index fund earning 8% per year. By age 65, when they retire, Person A has $10,627 from that $1,000. Person B has $21,725 from their $10,000. Person B put in 10 times more money, but only ended up with about twice the result. That first $1,000 earned a 1,000% return simply because it had time on its side. The later $10,000 only earned 117%. This is why your first $1,000 is so powerful. The size of the amount matters less than the amount of time it gets to work for you. This is why people who begin investing at 25 with small amounts often end up wealthier than people who start at 35 with larger amounts. Time beats money always, and your first $1,000 has more time than any dollar you save after that. Now I know what you're thinking. Claire, this is great in theory, but I can barely afford groceries. How am I supposed to save $1,000? And I get it. That is the trap. That is exactly the poverty premium we talk about on this channel. When you are broke, everything costs more. You cannot buy in bulk. You cannot pay your car insurance yearly for the discount. You are getting hit with overdraft fees, late fees, and interest everywhere you turn. You are being drained one small fee at a time. But here is the thing. Saving that first $1,000 is not really about the math. The math is just the side effect. What you are really doing is proving to yourself that you can do hard things. You are rewiring your brain to think about money differently, and it does not have to happen overnight. Let me tell you what happened to the real Alicia, an actual person I know who did this. In 2021, she was making $48,000 a year. She had $17,000 in credit card debt. She was living paycheck to paycheck, and every month felt like she was drowning. She decided that before she did anything else, before she even worried about the debt, she needed $1,000 in the bank. Just $1,000 that she would not touch unless it was a real emergency. She did not do anything dramatic. She did not launch a side hustle, sell her car, or move back in with her parents. She simply found $50 a week to save. She cut 2 streaming services she barely watched. She started meal prepping on Sundays instead of buying lunch at work. She stopped buying coffee 4 days a week and made it at home instead. $50 a week. That is all it took. In 5 months, she had $1,000, and she told me she cried in her car the day she hit that number. Because for the first time in her adult life, she felt like she actually had control over something. Here is what happened next, and this is the part that really surprises people. Once she had the $1,000, she did not stop. The habit was already in place. The system was working. She kept saving $50 a week. But now, when unexpected expenses showed up, the car needed new brakes, her cat needed surgery, she did not go into debt. She used the emergency fund when she had to, then rebuilt it. Slowly, that emergency fund grew from $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000. And then she started investing. Today, 4 years later, she has $28,000 in investments. She paid off all $17,000 of that credit card debt. She is on track to have $300,000 saved by the time she turns 50, all because she made getting to $1,000 the first priority before anything else. Now, I need to be honest with you, because everyone else selling financial advice tends to skip this part. Those 5 months she spent building that first $1,000 were awful. She missed her friend's birthday trip to Vegas. She said no to concerts she wanted to attend. She ate the same meal-prepped chicken and rice 4 days a week and got completely sick of it. She felt like she was missing out on life while everyone else around her seemed to be living it up. And there were moments when she almost quit. Moments where she thought, what is the point of having $1,000 someday if I am miserable right now? But then she realized something that changed everything. The people out there spending freely, the ones posting on Instagram and judging her for being cheap, 3 years later they were still in the same financial place. Still broke, still stressed. Still one car repair away from a crisis. Meanwhile, she had options. The temporary discomfort of building that first $1,000 bought her permanent relief from financial anxiety. And that trade is worth it every single time. This is the difference between the first $1,000 and the next $10,000. The first $1,000 changes your identity. It turns you from someone who has nothing into someone who has something. From someone who feels trapped by circumstances into someone who is actually building a future. The next $10,000 just makes the pile bigger. Yes, it matters, but it is incremental growth. The first $1,000 is the transformation. Another way to think about it is this. Your first $1,000 buys you options. It gives you the option to say no. No to the predatory payday loan when your car breaks down. No to the job you hate because you can afford to take 2 weeks to find a better one. No to the toxic roommate because you have enough saved for a deposit on your own place. $1,000 does not give you full financial independence, but it gives you the beginning of financial agency. And agency is what separates people who build wealth from people who stay stuck. There is also a psychological compounding effect that almost nobody talks about. Once you have saved $1,000, the second $1,000 becomes easier. Your income did not increase. Life did not suddenly get cheaper. But the jump from $1,000 to $2,000 feels smaller than the leap from $0 to $1,000 because now you have proof that the system works. You are starting from momentum instead of from nothing. The first $1,000 is like pushing a boulder up a hill. The second $1,000 is like pushing the same boulder on flat ground. It still takes effort, but it is nowhere near as brutal. The system we live in is built to keep you at zero. The entire consumer economy, the advertising, the payment plans, the buy now, pay later offers, the subscriptions that renew automatically, all of it is designed to make sure you never collect enough money to create options. Because people with options are bad customers. They do not take the high-interest loan. They do not buy things they do not need just because they are on sale. They do not stay in jobs they hate because they cannot afford to quit. Companies make money from people who are desperate and trapped. They lose money when you become free. Your first $1,000 is your declaration of war against that system. You are saying, I am done playing this game. I am building something, and I am willing to be uncomfortable now so I can have freedom later. I want you to do something right now. I want you to calculate how long it would take you to save $1,000 based on your current income and expenses. How much could you realistically put aside each week? $20, $50, $100? Do the math. If you save $20 a week, that is 50 weeks. 1 year, that is all. 1 year from now, you could have $1,000 and your whole financial life could look different. But here is the key, and I need you to really hear this. You cannot use that $1,000 for anything that is not an actual emergency. And an emergency is not a sale at your favorite store. An emergency is the car breaking down, the roof leaking, losing your job, medical bills, real emergencies. The emergency fund has one job: to keep you out of debt when life inevitably happens, because life always happens. Once you have that $1,000, once you cross that threshold, here is what you do next. Keep it separate. Do not leave it in your checking account where you see it every time you log in and feel tempted to spend it. Put it in a high-yield savings account at another bank if you need to. Put it somewhere that takes a day or two to transfer out. You want enough friction that you cannot impulsively spend it on something dumb, but not so much friction that you cannot get to it in a real emergency. Then start building the next layer, the next $1,000 and the next. And somewhere around $3,000 to $5,000, you have enough saved to start thinking about investing. You can start thinking about compound growth, tax-advantaged accounts, and index funds. You can start playing the long game. But none of that happens without the first $1,000. The first $1,000 is the unlock. It is the key that opens every other financial door. Here is the brutal truth that most financial advice skips because it is not fun to talk about. Building that first $1,000 takes sacrifice, real sacrifice. You are going to have to say no to things everyone else is saying yes to. You are going to feel left out sometimes. You are going to wonder whether it is worth it. And all the while, that $1,000 is going to feel tiny compared to what other people are doing with their money. Your coworker is buying a new car. Your friend is going to Cancun. Your sister is renovating her kitchen. And you are over there eating leftovers for the 4th day in a row trying to scrape together $1,000. It feels small. It feels pointless. But what you are really doing is building a foundation that will support the rest of your financial life. So here is what I want you to actually do. Open your banking app right now. Open a savings account that is separate from your checking account. Call it emergency fund, freedom fund, or whatever keeps you motivated. Set up an automatic transfer even if it is only $10 a week, even if it feels pointless because the amount is so small. Do it anyway, because the amount matters way less than the system. You are building a habit that can make you wealthy over the next 20 years. And when you hit that first $1,000, I want you to sit with that feeling. Really feel it. Do not minimize it. Do not tell yourself it is not much, because that number represents something much bigger than 4 digits in an account. It represents control. It represents options. It represents the fact that you are building something instead of just surviving. And once you start building, momentum takes over. The second $1,000 comes faster than the first. The third comes faster than the second. And before long, you are thinking about $10,000, about $50,000, about the point where your money starts making more than you do. But none of that happens without crossing zero. None of it happens without that first $1,000. The people who understand this, The ones who focus on getting to $1,000 before worrying about fancy investment strategies or paying off low-interest debt or any of that other stuff, are the ones who end up financially free. The people who skip this step, who try to invest before they have an emergency fund, who finance their life because $1,000 feels too small to matter, are the ones who stay stuck forever. They are still trying to figure out where to start while the first group is already 10 years into compound growth. Your first $1,000 is more powerful than your next $10,000 because it represents the shift from trapped to free, from reacting to planning, from hoping things work out to knowing you will be okay. Either way, that first $1,000 is the foundation everything else gets built on. And you can start building it today. Building it today.